So most of the shout outs that I would have got was to do with me trying to raise awareness for women's health and endometriosis. Before I get to that though, I want to introduce myself, just so you know who the hell I am and why I'm talking to you. And does anyone else get these horrible spots on their chest? So I am 27, my name is Cara, obviously. I live in Kerry, not Limerick. A lot of people think I live in Limerick, but I don't. I am a fully qualified, I'm qualified in a lot of things because it took me a while to decide what I wanted to do, but most recently I qualified, 5 years ago, qualified beauty specialist, hair extensions technician and nail technician. With all the other little add-ons added in, like UV gel polish, eyelash extensions, every type of a thing. More than likely I've trained in it. I had my own beauty salon and hair extension salon, and I used to do training courses there as well. So I am a fully qualified tutor to teach makeup and hair and all the things that I'm qualified in. So I had that salon. Oh, my nose is itchy. I had that salon up till 2 years ago when I got sick, and I was told by a specialist it's either your health or your job. So I was absolutely heartbroken. I still am very heartbroken about it. I do get kind of teary when I think about it, but I think that everything happens for a reason. So I'm hoping that in time I will get my health in check, or will at least have my health so that it's bearable to do something. And hopefully, say a prayer for me, that I will get back into doing what I love doing, and I'll be able to start living my life again. So, on to the next subject. So majority of you probably came over because I speak about women's health and endometriosis. So I was diagnosed with endometriosis last October through an operation. I had been jumping from GP to specialist since I was 12, suffering really bad symptoms, but nobody gave a shit, to be quite honest. Now, when I say nobody gave a shit, I don't mean my family. My family, of course, were there 100%. I couldn't have done it without my family. But doctors. I just had people telling me it was in my head, that I was attention seeking, the pain wasn't real, that everyone gets a little cramp now and again. Was told go home, get a hot water bottle, take a couple of Nurofen, a couple of paracetamol, you'll be fine. And I was prescribed antidepressants because they thought it was all in here. I was also told by a couple of specialists, now gynecological, is that the word, gynecological? I think it is. Gynecological specialists told me that it could be a lot of things. It could be because I was holding excess weight and because I was so obese that it was the problem. Now, fair enough, I will give her that I am overweight. I am trying to lose weight at the moment, but by no means am I like morbidly obese. Like, I'm perfectly able to get around. I was told that it was kidney infections, it was IBS, it was appendicitis. But I took things into my own hands. I researched my own specialist. I went on the internet, googled which was the best in Ireland for endometriosis. Now, bear in mind, I hadn't actually been diagnosed with endometriosis at this stage. I just knew from my symptoms from looking it up, that's what I had, full % sure. So I done my bit of research and I got onto my GP and I said I want to be sent to this person in this hospital and I want to be sent urgent right now. Now, if anyone has done that with a GP, you would know that they're not very happy when you tell them how to do their job. But the way I looked at it was, it's my life, I'm living with it, you're not. And so that's what I done. I sent off she typed up the referral, gave it to me, said, look, if you really want to send it, send it. So I sent it. And then pretty much I gave the referral 3 days to get to Dublin. Now, I'm in Kerry and my specialist is in Dublin, so you're talking about a good 4 hours. A good 4-hour journey every time I wanted to go and see him or have to have a checkup or anything like that. But to me, it was worth it because I had heard that he was the best, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be told that I wasn't going crazy, that I did have something wrong, and this is how we're going to deal with it. So after giving the referral about 3 days to get through the post up to Dublin, myself and my mom rang every single day to see if there was any cancellation, anything at all, and kept ringing until one day she said, look, there's a cancellation tomorrow. Jumped at the appointment, was in awful pain because this was in September. This was September of last year when I got the appointment. Bear in mind that in August, when I was on holidays with my family and my best friend in Galway, I was admitted to the hospital in Galway because of chronic bleeding. They couldn't stop the bleeding. And I was in excruciating pain, as you can imagine. So I went up to my appointment and I told him the story, the symptoms. I told him what what other GPs and specialists and gynecologists had said to me, and he literally sat there and said, what? He couldn't believe that people of medical profession, I guess, would treat somebody like that. And he said to me straight out, I'm 99.9% sure that you have endometriosis, and I want to do surgery to 100% be sure. So with endometriosis, you can only actually be fully diagnosed with a laparoscopy, so it's keyhole surgery, but you can have a lot of gynecologists that will refuse to do that surgery because they'll say you get scar tissue and all that kind of stuff, which is true, but you do need a diagnosis, and you need a firm diagnosis. So the 8th of October last year, I went in for my surgery, and he said that I was absolutely riddled with endometriosis. My bowel, my bladder and my womb were all stuck together, pulled back and to the left. My ovaries were stuck onto the side of my womb, and it was chaos. It was just chaos inside me. So after my surgery, he came down and he said that it was a vicious form of endometriosis. So I have a case of severe stage 4 endometriosis, which is the highest and most vicious stage. So it would take Cara to get like the worst one. So in my surgery, he inserted a Mirena coil. It is a form of contraception, but it can be used for endometriosis. And he also put me on the contraceptive pill back to back, no breaks, so no week off at the end of the month. And he said I needed both of them. He said I needed both the Mirena coil and the contraceptive pill together because of the strength of the endometriosis. Now, take into consideration that endometriosis actually grows through the hormone estrogen. So they wanted to kind of block that hormone from coming into my body. So that was the plan. Now, it took me months. I'm still recovering from surgery. I still have awful pain every day, still have bowel, bladder problems, just still constantly bleeding since July last year. And I don't mind getting like TMI on here, it makes no difference to me whatsoever, but some people don't like me being that honest. But I'm here to tell it how it is. So I've been bleeding since July last year, with blood clots, everything, chronic bleeding. Then about 2.5 months ago, I had to go to A&E in Cork because the pain got too much. I had a scan, and I've been on every type of pain medication. Nothing kicks the pain. That is a problem with endometriosis. A lot of people with endometriosis can't get a pain medication that will actually get rid of the endometrial pain, the endometriosis pain. And on top of that, then I also have a condition where my body reacts differently to medications. So a medication that might be really strong for one person won't work on me, and vice versa. So when I had my scan in CUH in Cork, they said to me that the endometriosis was growing rapidly and my ovary was back attached to my womb. Now my ovary, my womb, my bladder had all been separated in my surgery in October, but had grown back. So what that meant was that the coil and the pill weren't strong enough to hold down the endometriosis, so my treatment was changed. I keep saying so, I have to stop doing that, that's very annoying. But, oh god, I'm saying now, but okay, I'm going to stop, next snap. I was started on this injection called Decapeptyl, and what it does is it actually puts your body into a medical menopause. And what I mean by that is it just kind of puts your ovaries into hibernation, because endometriosis is made grow by the hormone estrogen, which your ovaries make. So if you shut down the ovaries, the endometriosis stops growing. But last month was my first injection. The first 2 weeks I felt no difference. The last 2 weeks I was flying, it was brilliant, but I was still bleeding. Now this month was my second injection, and my third injection is a week and a half away, and my pain is bad again. So I have absolutely no idea what is going on. I'm waiting for my specialist to ring me back. Is it gone very dark, lads, or is it just the phone? But I'm waiting for him to ring me back, just to find out exactly where I stand, if this is normal, if the bleeding is still normal, all that kind of stuff. Along with the injection, I was put on a hormone replacement therapy. And that's just, they call it a HRT. It's just a medication that women in the menopause are put on. Because I'm going through medical menopause, it keeps the symptoms of the decapeptyl injection down. Now the injection is very extreme, so everything you would get during the menopause, you get while you're on the injection. But my coil and my HRT, I'm still taking them. So my coil is still fitted and I'm taking the HRT, so it keeps the symptoms down. But I'm just going to go through some of the symptoms you can, or some of the side effects you can get with the injection. Things like dry skin, insomnia, not being able to sleep, weight gain, low sex drive, loads of things. But that's where I am now at the moment, so that's my journey and my story. But I just want to get into a bit about what endometriosis actually is. So if I want to be all medical about it, it's where endometrial tissue, which should only grow inside your womb, grows outside your womb and grows on other organs. It causes severe pain, severe bleeding, very painful periods, spotting throughout the month, irregular bleeding, pain during and after sex, like loads of different things, lower back pain, abdominal pain, lots of problems. There is a very high link between infertility and endometriosis, a very high link between certain cancers like ovarian and cervical. So smear tests are a huge thing with endometriosis. They should be a huge thing with everyone, but people put them off. So if you've put off your smear test, get up, make your appointment and do it. Like those 5 minutes could literally save your life. Now I know people with endometriosis or other problems, internal and internal exams and smear tests are extremely painful, like excruciatingly painful, and I get that, I do. But it could save your life. That's how I look at it. And 5 minutes of discomfort is better than finding out too late. So that's kind of like pretty much the breakdown of what endometriosis is. It causes a lot of problems, and it's very hard to kind of live a normal life with it, because some mornings you can get up and you could be good to go, and then other mornings you can't get out of the bed. So you could be in excruciating pain, you could start bleeding anytime. There's just a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of things, and the organs that it attaches to, you get an awful lot of problems with them as well. So if it's attached to your bladder and your bowel, like it was for me, I get awful bladder and bowel problems, so that's even more pain to deal with. So it's just crap. So I had a few questions in last night about endometriosis. I think I covered them all. I covered about my story, what it actually is, the treatment. So where I kind of am in my story at the moment is I'm waiting for my specialist to get back to me to find out, while I'm on the injection, is the bleeding normal and having this amount of pain a month and a half in. And it is like a huge worry for me, because doctors have mentioned that kind of the injection is the last chance before a hysterectomy. So that is just absolutely terrifying at 27 years of age to be told that. But I'm holding out hope. Maybe it's just to change around things. So I'm just waiting for him to get back to me, and I will update you all and keep you informed. Now I did want to go through as well, there lads, because the sun's on my face, but I did want to go through as well today about Slimming World. I had a lot of questions about it because I am doing Slimming World, so I will go through that later. But I don't want to be pulled in for too long inside the road, because people are staring at me like I'm a crazy person. So if you have any questions about women's health, endometriosis, anything along those exciting lines, you can pop me a question. My snaps are always open. I will do my best to get back to you straight away. But I do just want to make clear, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. I am just giving my own opinion and what I know about endometriosis and my story. So if it is like that you're having a really irregular periods or anything like that, or heavy bleeding, a doctor is really who you should be talking to. But that's not saying you can't message me away, we'll have a chat. And yeah, just if you have any questions, pop them in. If you have any questions, or you want to chat, or you just want to ask me about my story or anything like that, send me a snap and I promise I'll get back to you.